What's up guys, Ninth Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. And today, we're going to be doing some more team building. Today will be another pretty long episode, so, buckle up and be prepared for the ride. Anyway, so, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room of PZ Clef, Porygon-Z, and Clefairy. Now, a lot of people are expecting this to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest leads, and just team cores in general, going into the new series of Series 6 with the implementation of the bans, which makes a lot of sense. It's very, very strong. Let's go ahead and talk about why it's so good. So first off, Porygon-Z, adaptability is an absurd ability. It gives you 2 times stab damage instead of 1.5, making your hyper beams absolutely absurd. Now, why is Clefairy so good next to it? Well, first off, it has Friend Guard, which gives you a lot of buffs. It gives you 3/4 less damage from your opponent's attacks. This Pokemon ally receives a lot less damage. That's a lot less damage. I like that a lot. It's good. We also have redirection, which is really cool. Makes it so our Porygon-Z doesn't immediately get killed. Now we also have Helping Hand, which is very good because it makes our attacks absurd, which is pretty cool. We are also featuring Protect on this team on Clefairy, just because a lot of the time your opponent's just gonna be like, all right, well, we'll kill Clefairy and we're good. And then Protect, and you're like, all right, we're not good. So it's good. We also have Eviolite on this Pokemon, of course. Great feature for this Pokemon. Just makes it much more bulky. I mean, our stats are not that good for bulk. In general, 48 defense and 65 special defense is not great. So it definitely likes the additional boost of bulk from Eviolite, which makes a lot of sense. So that is pretty much Clefairy. Now, Porygon-Z, we have Hyper Beam, we have most likely Life Orb here. There's not really a lot of reasons to use something else when we just Dynamax and use Max Strikes all day. It's pretty absurd. Let's go ahead and look at a little bit of damage that this Pokemon can do, because it's crazy. I mean, look at our special attack stat. 135 base with 2 times stab plus 150 base attack. Like, as a max attack, it's crazy. With Life Orb, you just stack buff on buff on buff, and it's crazy. So let's go ahead and look at it. Porygon-Z. Normal set here. Life Orb. This is going to be Hyper Beam. And max it. Even though the max doesn't matter because it hits 150 either way. So, what are we looking at hitting for damage? Well, let's just look at some of the Metamons real quick so I can just show off this guy's damage output. It's crazy. So, Hyper Beam from adaptability, Porygon-Z into 4 special defense for some reason. Kingdra, Dynamax, we are hitting 86 to 102. Now, a lot of the calcs that we need are going to be Helping Hand calcs, but that is okay because Porygon-Z is actually fairly bulky at max. I mean, if we look at this, like Draco Meteor at max, we live guaranteed, but that's without Life Orb. So let's go ahead and put in Life Orb. Yeah, Draco Meteor is taking us out, but that's not max. Max it. Boom. Now they're only hitting 54 to 64% damage, while we are hitting 129 to 152 damage. Seems pretty good to me. Things like Duraludon, things like that can get through your Follow Me. So we have Flash Cannon at max is only 45 to 53 damage. This is 252 with max special attack. Even Life Orb, it's still doing like an absurd amount of damage, which is crazy. Now, this is one of the Pokemon that we're not just immediately offering a guaranteed OHKO. With Hyper Beam or Max Strike at Helping Hand with Life Orb, and this is even modest, which we wouldn't be running. We would be running Timid. We don't even have a chance against that. So let's go ahead and look at Kingdra real quick. Max it again. Yeah, with Helping Hand, we're still hitting like an absurd amount of damage, 118 to 139, which is guaranteed OHKO, which is very good. So Duraludon is like an iffy matchup, so we'll definitely be, doing something for Duraludon as well. I think I'm probably going to be ending up with Talonflame on this team as well, just being hyper aggro. A pretty good core for this team here is going to be these with Talonflame and Urshifu, but the water one, and why not the G-Max one? Like, there's no point in not doing that. So that's a pretty good core so far that we have and that we're thinking of. So I like that. Other than that, I don't know exactly what I want to go for. Arcanine could definitely land on this team, but then we wouldn't probably want Talonflame. There's just not really a lot of reason to have dual fire on this team. a lot of the time we're going to be bringing Porygon-Z and Clefairy, so I want every other Pokemon to be able to do a lot of work in the back. And Talonflame, honestly, you know, Tailwind's good in the back, but when we're planning on leading Porygon-Z Clefairy most of the time, this is a Pokemon that we want to lead. But regardless, it's definitely good on the team. Like, it definitely works a lot, and you can definitely lead this in a lot of scenarios. I mean, there are Pokemon that Porygon-Z doesn't really deal with that well, you know, namely Goodra's pretty absurd, you know, with like Assault Vest. I mean, look at this guy's special defense. Like, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and look at a calc for that. Goodra. If I seem a little weird, it's because I just woke up. I mean, I'm talking like 5 minutes ago woke up, and it's like noon. Like, I don't usually sleep this long, but you know, like sometimes, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Like, it happens. All right, so adaptability, max strike with helping hand, 252 life orb into blink set Goodra. This is no EVs. You're hitting 73 to 86. That's an absurd base stat for a special defense. Like, that's without assault vest, you know, like, or investment into HP or the special defense. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, we're gonna have to have something for this matchup with Goodra, which makes sense, right? Like, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we're gonna be teching for Goodra. Another Pokemon we're gonna be teching for, maybe Ferrothorn. Like, assault vest Ferrothorn could be really good. Let's take a look at that real quick. Ferrothorn. This is Dynamax. Oh, that was Dynamax Goodra, by the way. But like 9 out of 10 times when you see a Goodra, it's probably gonna Dynamax, just because like weakness policy stuff is crazy. You know, comfy Goodra is the main way you see Goodra, and that's almost always going to be weakness policy, which is like Dynamax. You know, just like Dynamax weakness policy, and you're hitting hard like with Sap Sipper and stuff is good. Which makes it so that Amoonguss isn't really an out for Goodra, because a lot of the time they run Sap Sipper. So you'll have to be careful of that. Now, max strike into this is with 252 HP, which is pretty standard. You know, a little bit of investment in the special defense. Sassy and 36, that's the default spread here, but this is with helping hand. We are still only hitting 73 to 86 into a Ferrothorn, so we'll definitely want to tech for that as well. Now, Talonflame does deal with that pretty well, so, you know, we don't need too much more, you know, just on that. Now, Arcanine with fast Snarl is a little bit annoying, but I'm going to show you something crazy. Most of the time, we will still be taking it out. So we're going to go to 252 HP for that guy, and then just a random big number here, and a special defense, you know, why not? This is our damage, 180 to 213. Now, they -1 us with Snarl. With helping hand, we're still taking that knockout pretty easily. Now, this is into non-Dynamax Arcanine with a pretty random spread, you know, but like, yeah, it's a lot of damage, like even after a Snarl. So we're not really too worried about Arcanine in the early game, because they fast Snarl us. They wasted their turn 1. I mean, yeah, -1 on Porygon-Z is pretty annoying. It makes it so we kind of have to helping hand every turn for the rest of the game. And if this guy gets taunted, yikes, like, that's not a good thing. I was running Dazzling Gleam on this Pokemon just because, like, I don't remember exactly why. I think it helped the Goodra matchup a lot or something like that. Like, Porygon-Z, like, 2 max beams into it, and then Dazzling Gleam, like 2 raw max beams. Let me pull up that calc again. Goodra, let's do 252 HP, because I think that's pretty fair to do, and then Dynamax it. We're hitting 27 to 32 raw, but this is with our Snarl. So without our Snarl, we're hitting about 40 to 48. 2 of those plus a Dazzling Gleam. Let's go ahead and put in a Dazzling Gleam. 0 special attack, but Dazzling Gleam is hitting 8 to 9%, which after 40% twice, it's not a knockout. And that is with 252 HP here. But that's not really what we want to see. Now, probably Aqua Jet from Urshifu will take that out at that point. But we don't have that calc. Poliwrath with, what was its attack? Like 130? Yeah, 130. Attack 130. Not 13. None of this Aqua Jet, but I mean, look at the damage. Like, we're definitely, oh no, it's actually less. Yikes. That's with full attack. Weird. It's actually weird that it takes so little damage from that. Yeah, Goodra's a bit of a problem. I don't know exactly how we're going to deal with Goodra. Like, what deals with Goodra very well. Lapras is pretty good against Goodra. Freeze Dry is good against Goodra as well. So Lapras is good, but I don't really want to play Lapras on a PZ team just because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do, right? Like, let's think about this for a minute, right? So, like, hold on one second. Pull up Goodra. What exactly are we looking to beat it with, right? Like, Dragon's good, and Fairy. Sylveon kind of could deal with it, you know, potentially. Sylveon could potentially help us here. Sylveon, Pixelate, Pixie Plate probably. Maybe you want to go Specs on that guy, you know. But Max Hyper Voice, our regular Hyper Voice here, with our Max Attack, Pixelate and Pixie Plate, modest. It's not doing a lot of damage, right? Like 30 damage. This is Dynamaxed Goodra with max HP. So Goodra is a bit of a problematic matchup. And this definitely could work pretty well. It's also a Pokemon that's pretty mid-speed, works great with Tailwind. So yeah, Sylveon could definitely land on here. I think Sylveon's a big rising star from this Series 6. Like, I think it's a really good Pokemon, a great pick into the meta, with a lot of really good Pokemon that are returning that Sylveon kind of just destroys. Things like Grimmsnarl, the Goodra, of course. Like, Sylveon has a pretty solid place in the meta. So I think that's a pretty solid chance. Also, that was not choice specs damage. Let's look at choice specs damage. Although I do really value Protect on this Pokemon. So we have 36 to 43, which is pretty good. But, you know, well, a Helping Hand Max Strike from PZ. Plus, of course, hold on, let me change all this back. I should really start saving my spreads, but oh well. Life Orb. This is Tri Attack. It's a dumb move. If you use Tri Attack on this Pokemon, you're crazy. If you don't max it, I guess. So 31 to 37, that was without Helping Hand. Helping Hand with 47 to 55, but that's only into just 252 HP, pretty basic. If it has Assault Vest, we're not killing it for a while, but it's not doing much damage. So honestly, we would rather it be Assault Vest than Weakness Policy. Although, you know, Floral Healing would be pretty annoying. We'd pretty much just not do much during our Dynamax, and they'd set Trick Room with their Comfy, and it'd be an annoying game. But neither of us would really be doing a lot of damage. I mean, like, if you look at them, like, Draco Meteor off max, Draco Meteor max, Draco Meteor into our Dynamax, we're doing more damage, but this is with Helping Hand. Without Helping Hand, we're doing very similar damage. I mean, they're doing 33 while we're doing 31, and this is without investment into their Goodra as well. So yeah, I'm talking about Goodra a lot because Goodra definitely walls us out a little bit. We also have other Pokemon like Terrakion, Cobalion, like the Justified users with Assault Vest. That's definitely an option as well. So let's go ahead and look at those real quick. Terrakion, obviously we're not doing a lot of damage to those Pokemon. Now we do have things like Ice Beam, by the way, that we can deal with Goodra like that as well, but we actually just don't do as much damage, which is kind of funny, with super effective attacks. So like those are mostly like Blizzard can deal damage with max Hailstorm. You can have like chip damage, which is good. Thunderbolt on Porygon-Z is going to be mostly for that Amoonguss matchup. That's what it's going to be. So let's go ahead and fill this out a little bit. Thunderbolt, probably Dark Pulse, so we can deal with Dusclops, and Protect. It's pretty good. We're going to go into Special Attack and Timid. I think this is one of the Pokemon that you just go for this kind of spread most of the time, just because it's very offensive, and this is really what you want. And we went with Timid max speed just so we can be as fast as possible. 156 is an okay speed tier. It's not amazing. But with Talonflame Tailwind as well, that definitely suits it pretty well. So I like that a lot. Clefairy, I like this set. Dazzling Gleam might change. It might become like Heal Pulse, or Life Dew kind of thing. You know, probably Life Dew if anything. But then, you know, we're super susceptible to Taunt. And, I mean, Dazzling Gleam isn't like much anyway. But, yeah, we don't want to get taunted. We don't want to get taunted at all. So let's go ahead and fill out this guy's set here a little bit. Let's do some calculations. So we have Clefairy, We want to live Duraludon. That's a big Pokemon that we would like to live. So let's do for Life Orb. Not Modest. I mean, I guess we'll do Modest just to max our chance of not dying. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So that's like a lot of damage. All right, let's do Timid because, listen. So like if it's Modest, and like max special attack and not going for like as fast as possible, it's most likely gonna be not Life Orb. In which case the like this is fine. And then if it's Timid, then it's gonna be Life Orb, and then this is fine as well. So that's kind of the reasoning there. So we are Eviolite. Let's go ahead and invest a little bit into defense. Like I would really like to live this attack. I don't think you can, to be honest. Like I don't think it's really possible, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's not happening. Like this thing's hitting so hard. Like you can put it right to 252, and we're just not gonna be living that. So that's pretty insane that it just does so much damage. Are there any? No, it just does so much damage against it. Duraludon's definitely a threat for this team as well. And that's kind of why I was leaning toward maybe putting like something like Conkeldurr on our team. But I mean, Urshifu's close combat deals with it pretty well as well. Let's go ahead and look at that. Urshifu. Oh yeah, Poliwrath. Dumb guy. Alright, so attack at 130. And close combat. Does a lot of damage. I mean, this is into Dynamaxed, and we're hitting 57 to 67. So if we do a little bit of damage first, mostly off of that PZ, let's go ahead and look at our Porygon-Z damage again. Porygon-Z, 57 to 67 is what we're doing with that guy. And then with Max Strike here, Hyper Beam, 57 is what we hit. So even off of a low roll, 46 plus 57 is taking that knockout, which I like. I think that's good. So, you know, we have two different ways. They take out our Clefairy. That would suck, but then we bring in Urshifu, we close combat, it's dead. Duraludon's not faster. If they set up Tailwind, then okay, then they set up Tailwind. And it is going to be faster, but this guy will most likely be sashed. So I think this is a really strong core. These two in the back might change. Probably not Conkeldurr actually, because I think Urshifu deals with it just well enough. I don't think there's really anything else that you got to say about that. Like, is good. Surging Strikes, Aqua Jet, probably Aqua Jet. I really do want, wait, do we get Sucker Punch on this guy? No, that's on the other one. So this is fine. We'll just put Protect on here as well. Item, this is going to be Focus Sash. It does suck when, you know, like weather chips the Focus Sash away or something like that, but I still think it's worth playing Focus Sash. Just because it makes this Pokemon such a menace in the back. Like, you just bring this Pokemon in, Focus Sash, and then, like, you get an attack, and then they try to knock you out. They can't because Focus Sash, and then boom. You get 2 attacks. And this Pokemon is insane if it gets multiple attacks. Like, that's really what you want. Now, Colossal is another matchup that I kind of do want to tech for. And we still haven't addressed everything that we said we wanted to yet. Duraludon, we have a bit of the address for Duraludon with the Urshifu PZ play. You know, they take out Clefairy. You could even go with, like, Protect Turn 1. Did we have Helping Hand 1? No. So we could even go for, like, a Protect Turn 1. And then this, but Hyper Beam, I gotta pull it up one more time. So Duraludon, that's Dynamaxed with 252 HP. It's also not gonna have 252 HP a lot, and it's gonna be Assault Vest a lot. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, 46% is a lot of damage here, but this is also modest. So let's move this over to Timid. We're hitting 42 now. Is 42 plus? So if we hit 2 low rolls with Urshifu and Porygon-Z, then that's kind of bad. But that's okay. I think that's fine. This is also not Dynamax. Alright, boom. So we have Hyper Beam here, right? Hyper Beam plus Helping Hand Hyper Beam, 42 and 63 is actually going to be enough, and that's without Life Orb as well. Life Orb. So yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. Actually, this is absurd damage. Wait, did we calc this right the first time? 252 HP. I guess let's give it the Assault Vest so we can see. So yeah, 37 and 55. So if we go for Protect Turn 1 and then we live and then we Helping Hand attack turn 2, we are not taking the knockout. Well, I mean, we can, but we probably aren't. Like, let's be real. I always go off low rolls. If we had 2 high rolls, sure. Or like 2 medium, like a high and a medium roll gets there too. That sucks. But That's a Sawfest as well, and without screens. And I think a pretty common pairing for Duraludon is going to be Grimmsnarl. That's a video I'm going to be doing tomorrow, I think. Maybe the next day. But at least this week or next week before Series 6. So, you know, definitely be expecting that Duraludon video coming soon, because I think Duraludon is going to be mighty. It's just water, guys. I'm not drinking at noon. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Anyway, Porygon-Z, Clef. Very good. Talonflame, Urshifu, Sylveon. Pretty good looking team so far. Now, what's our last Pokemon? Could go with a grass type. I mean, what do we have for Lapras, really? Porygon-Z does a lot of damage. But, I mean, Lapras plus... Like, Lapras with screens is kind of hard to deal with. I mean, this is without Helping Hand, though. Hitting 46 to 54. You know, and then Helping Hand kind of just setting up further screens. We could still not take the knockout after that, though. What's 25 less damage here? Out of about 70%. It's like, what, like 15? Maybe a little less. So, like, let's say 40 for the safeness. Plus 46. It's not taking a knockout. So we have to double Helping Hand kill it. Which is just not what I want to be doing, right? Oh, there's also not Max. Why did it go down? That's so weird. Max Starfall, what? Wait, what? Ah. That's weird. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's a fine matchup, I think. I think Lapras is not that bad of a matchup, you know. I mean, obviously, if it's super bulky and it Dynamaxes, you have to deal with it, but it's not too bad. So Max Dark Pulse into Dusclops with Eviolite. Max Special Defense? Why is that your calc for default? That's weird. But yeah, even if it is that, we are two-shotting with this. Helping Hand might two-shot it if it's not like an absurd calc here. What's a pretty likely calc for Dusclops in Special Defense? What did we do last time? I think we did 108 for the one that I did. We wouldn't take the knockout. But we get really close, like super close, like 50, almost 50%, like a 43% chance to OHKO. Still not something I would just take, but you know, it's good. I think I would probably still Helping Hand attack it, because there's not really much else you would do. I mean, if they lead Dusclops and something else, their offensive pressure is really, really low. They're not even taking out Clefairy turn 1, and then you just follow me turn 2, knock out the problematic Pokemon. Dusclops is sitting there like, what do we do? And you're just fine. Like, nothing matters, really, right? So, like, that's a good matchup, too, against, like, Trick Room. So I like that for Trick Room as well. I think Sylveon deals with Goodra a little bit well. I mean, like we were saying, the PZ into Sylveon was pretty good. I think, that's what we were saying. It's pretty good. What else do we need to deal with? Well, we got Rain matchup down pretty well. Colossal's, like, like a little, like maybe, like, not the best matchup. Let's go ahead and check our damage output to that. Colossal, 252 HP, Dynamax. I think that's pretty common. What? Why do you say Starfall? Hold on. This is crazy. What is happening, dude? Like, Hyper Beam into Colossal, and then when I max it, Starfall. I know it's the same damage, but, like, why? Why are you doing that? Anyway, adaptability, Life Orb, Timid, max speed, max special attack. We are hitting 28 to 34. Now, Surf will usually do about 15 to 25%. So it's unfortunate we can't get that OHKO guaranteed into that Colossal, which is unfortunate. But Colossal's doing a chunk, right? Meteor Beam, I guess we don't have that on here. We only have Ancient Power at, what is that, 140, I think? I mean, they're doing no damage to us. But that's pre-weakness Palazzi. So yeah, it's not the greatest matchup. I mean, we follow me turn 1, and we're doing pretty solid damage, like 28 to 38, or 28 to 34. That is not right. That's not right. I know it's like fairly bulky, but that's not right. I mean, it resists too, but like, okay. Alright, Colossal's not the greatest matchup, but we have Urshifu, so like, whatever. Like, they lead Colossal. We think they're going to lead Colossal, lead Urshifu, Talonflame or something, you know what I mean? Like, and we just deal with it. Like, Surgeon Strike is dead, You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that's actually, like, it's just dead. So full attack, full speed. I know you guys hate these spreads, but I mean, that's what you do for this guy. You know, we did that for these two. And then Sylveon also is probably going to just have HP and special attack, because nothing else really benefits it that much. I mean, you could go maybe defensive, but like, its defense is pretty P, so whatever. We're going to go modest here. Pixelate. We're going to just put in the regular moves that we use. Hyper Voice. I like Hyper Beam, but only if I'm going to max the Pokemon, and I think I'm going to max this like 1 out of 155,000 times. So we're not going to be doing that much. But it could happen. We Mystical Fire on here for additional fire spread. I think that's pretty good. And then Protect. I mean, nothing too out of the blue out of off of this Sylveon. I don't think anything's crazy off of that. So we have PZ. Pretty good. That's finished. We have Clefairy. We need to make a spread for Talonflame. We got Tailwind, Brave Bird, probably. We could go with Taunt on it and be very similar to our other team. I think Protect works really well on this guy as well. Although, you know what? Somebody mentioned this before, and I thought it was a pretty interesting idea. Use Serena, and then you have the Talonflame plus Serena, and then you have Tailwind guaranteed, because they can't really fake out your Talonflame through Queenly Majesty. If you don't know what Queenly Majesty does, when this Pokemon is active, allies are protected from opposing priority moves, which is pretty good. So you can still fake out this Serena, but we're protected from fake out with Talonflame. So this can be a really optimal lead as well into something you think your opponent's going to go fake out, and then like something that knocks out Porygon-Z. Well, you just go in Talonflame, Serena, you set up Tailwind, which is pretty cool, and then you bring in like powerful plays in the back, whatever it is. So that's a good option as well. I think this is actually something I'd like to explore. I mean, Intimidate does nothing against my team really other than the Urshifu and the Serena, and Urshifu doesn't really care that much if he's using Surging Strikes. So yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty good. And also Talonflame, of course. So I mean, with 3 offensive physical Pokemon and only 1 support Pokemon being that Clefairy. So I definitely want Talonflame to lean a little bit more into support, just so that we don't always just like only attack. You know what I mean? I don't really like only attacking. So I think I am probably going to lean with Taunt here. But we are going to also have Flare Blitz and then Taunt on here on the last one. Now I want this guy to be pretty bulky. So Talonflame, how bulky can you be, bud? Not that bulky. This guy is doing 1 billion damage. We're not worried about that. Yeah, that was into our Dynamax. This guy doing 1 billion damage. Alright, so what do we want to not die to as Talonflame? Well, obviously rock attacks, but we can't really not die to those unless we max. And even if we do, we're probably dead. So, I mean, just like a Terrakion base, Terrakion Rock Slide is easily killing us through Dynamax. I don't really want that. You know, at the same time, I do kind of just want to Focus Sash this Pokemon, but Urshifu wants it way more than Talonflame, I think. So we're probably just going to put something like Sharp Beak on here and just do damage with it, right? Because, like, you know, what's the worst that happens? If it gets Tailwind set up and then dies, whatever. You know, at that point we have Serena. We can bring in either of these and even Porygon-Z and do a lot of damage. You like Zed? I like using Z instead of Z. I think, what's that, German? I think I took like 2 years of German in 1 year. I took 1 year of German in school because I already took French that year, or like I already took 3 years of French, so I didn't need to, but like it was a free class, I'm pretty sure. Like German class, like was taught by this dude that was like a goober, but he was cool. He was a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, Porygon-Z works pretty well in the back, even if you expect yourself to, you know, like Talonflame to die immediately and stuff. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and run Sharp Beak on this, just so we can get really powerful Brave Birds with priority potentially at the beginning of the game, which is really good. I'm just gonna go attack and here. Sorry, once again, I know that like 3 out of 4 of my Pokemon, 4 out of 5 of my Pokemon, 4 out of 6 of my Pokemon are just offensive, like balls to the wall offensive, but whatever. Or they're just like, you know, like not very calculated spreads. I know that's kind of like something that you get a lot of, or something that you guys really want me to kind of lean away from is the 252, 254. But I think it just works for all these Pokemon really well. I mean, Sylveon doesn't need it. Like, you can definitely calculate a better spread. Porygon-Z needs that. Talonflame right now, this build would like that. You know, Urshifu wants that. Like, it's just what it is. And Serena kind of wants it too, to be honest. So what do we run with Serena? I know so there's like Trap Kick. That's gonna be our, oh come on, type, bruh. What do you mean? What do you mean? All right, Serena. High Jump Kick. That sucks that that's all we get. We get Power Whip. I didn't know that. I thought Trap Kick was like the standard. What's the difference? Trap Kick. I mean, Trap Kick has better accuracy, right? Only 70 power, but better accuracy. 100% lower chance to lower the target's attack by 1. That's really good, actually. I do like Power Whip, but 85 accuracy makes me want to pee. I hate that. All right, High Jump Kick, Trap Kick, High Jump Kick. I hate High Jump Kick too. That sucks. It's such a bad move. Triple Axle is interesting. U-turn's cool. Protect is good. Taunt is cool. It gets Grassy Glide. That's cool. I mean, we're not going to be using Thwacky on this team, but still, that'd be pretty crazy. Trap Kick, High Jump Kick. What else do we want to deal with this Pokemon? So this is pretty much just to deter it from Talonflame, but it also completes our Fire, Water, Grass core, which is pretty cool. Not something I really cared to do, or really feel like I need to do, but whatever. Serena, how much damage do you do against Lapras? Actually, Lapras is pretty dealt with. Let's look at Primarina. Can we make it so we Oko? We might have to max it to Oko. Maybe not. No, we will, because that's max. That's not maxed. Alright, so Power Whip. Dude, look at that damage. Oh, it's so close. Damn. Alright, let's see. What do we want to do here? Max Overgrowth does a lot of damage. That's Adamant 252 attack, though. Which is annoying. We're pretty low speed. At 72 speed, but it goes to 92. And then 2 times that is 184, which is pretty good. Do I care to outspeed anything? Or should I just go into HP? Let's see here. Should we try to outspeed things like Weavile and stuff with Talonflame? It's going to hold Focus Sash, so there's not really much of a point, because we can't really just take it out immediately, right? Because we would have to Talonflame, or like, we'd have to Tailwind and then attack it, and that wouldn't deter it. Although, to be honest, against like Colossal Lead, which is all I really expect Terrakion, or like Weavile to be next to, although Weavile does get beat up, so it might like be next to Terrakion. Serena. 92 times 2 is going to be outspeeding things like Terrakion, so I'm not really that worried about it. Trap Kick, how much damage do we do to that? Alright, so Helping Hand, let's do Trap Kick max, actually. Alright, so max Trap Kick, I like that a lot, actually. And Assault Vest doesn't matter, Intimidate would, but that's fine. Helping Hand, Trap Kick takes out Primarina, so that's good. I like that a lot. You know, that's at this, though. That plus Adamant, which is fine. I don't feel really uncomfortable doing that. I'm sorry, guys. But we're going to do that spread again. I'm sorry. Look, man, it works for this team. Right? Every Pokemon is just like, alright, that's Gucci. Like, it's fine, bro. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we can, like, change a couple just to, like, outspeed some more stuff with Tailwind strats and things like that. But Serena, you know, gets to that speed, a 92 times 2. You know, the only Pokemon that were really outspeeding that before and now, right now, it's really just like Weavile, right? Because we even outspeed things like Durant, which is cool. But as far as Pokemon like Dragapult and Cinderace that would commonly outspeed it, which we would need to put a little bit of EVs into, they're gone. So whatever. I'm not worried. Alright, Sylveon could also use a little bit of speed, potentially. I mean, we're at 80 times 2 is 160, which is good, but, like, not too insane. I mean, we outspeed things like Goodra, which is really good. Actually, do we outspeed base Goodra? I don't even know. Whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I like this. I think that's good. Trap Kick, High Jump Kick. Is Triple Axle good? Doesn't it miss, right? Each hit can miss, but power rises. Triple Axle. Is there anything we need that for? Ice attack that hits a bunch of times. It would be good against Whimsicott for Sash, of course. But like, what do we really care to hit with that, right? I mean, like, we're not hitting Ferrothorn. We're hitting Amoonguss. Is that good against a Mungus though? How do we calc triple axle? What? It goes 20, 40, 60 or different? Triple axle attack dex. Does it go 20, 40, 60? It rises. Or does it double? Does it go 20, 40, 80? Oh, come on, computer, man. What are you not loading for, dude? What a terrible computer, am I right? Alright, well. You know what? How much damage do we do to an Amoonguss for that? Triple axle. How do we calc this, dude? Tail slap? But it didn't go up. Let's just do like 30 for a base, I guess. 3 hits. That sucks. Why are we running triple axle, guys? What are we hitting with triple axle? Oh, all right. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't need internet. It's true that I don't need internet for Showdown. Am I still on my bad internet? I have 2 internets. I have 2 internets. One is an extender and one is bad because it's the whole house away. That's why I'm like not really streaming yet. I need good internet. I need good internet and then we're good. Good internet and we're good. But then, yeah, until then I can't do anything. So triple axle, I guess, with protect. Like that's just very basic, you know, but pretty good. We could also just put taunt on this Pokemon, and then we don't need it on Talonflame, but whatever, we're good. What is this? Should we do a Assault Vest actually, not run protect? Is that what people are doing? Oh, that's what 46% of people are doing. Oh, that's kind of tempting. Also, wide lens is a good idea. That's kind of tempting. All right, we're gonna go Assault Vest. And then instead of protect, because we can't use protect, what other attack? Oh, we just double with power, like double up on grass type attacks. Nah, U-turn. U-turn sounds good. Let's just slap U-turn on there. Seems good. Some good positioning. So now we have Porygon-Z, Clefairy that we have to make a spread for. Talonflame, Urshifu, Sylveon, and Serenity. I like that. I think that's pretty solid. Let's go ahead and set up a good spread here. Clefairy. Not Clefable. Poor Clefable, right? That's a good Pokemon. But, like, Clefairy's a great Pokemon. Yeah. Alright, so what is going to be our spread? What are we worried about? Well, we can't beat Duraludon. That's a Pokemon we have to protect too. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, Clefairy, we can't beat Duraludon. Pharaoh, maybe? I think you can probably calc for Ferrothorn. But I don't know, to be honest. So, let's see. Ferrothorn... Gyro Ball and Iron Head. Iron Head does less damage, so, and that's max. Are we Dynamax? No, that's actually just very, very bulky Clefairy at work here. So let's go ahead and put down a good bit of our defenses because we don't need that much defense, I think. Before we had to tech for like Excadrill and stuff, and now not really. What else is big in the meta? Like poison, like Venusaur's gone. So like, what's the best poison type Pokemon? Like Toxtricity? Like not really. Actually, what even is a good poison type Pokemon now? I mean, Sludge Bomb on a Moongus could be cool. Not really. We're not using that. Corviknight's good. Yeah, we'll definitely tech for Corviknight. So Corviknight. Not really worried about that either, actually. So that's really cool. I mean, that's with no attack, you know. It's not really going to have much attack usually. Let's see a max. Yeah, we're not worried. Max Steel Spike with max attack Corviknight. Okay. Okay. Not worried. We're not worried. What else are we scared of? Not that much, honestly. Like, I guess just some big attacks, right? Like Marowak, Alola. Like, that thing hits hard. Marowak. Flare Blitz hits real hard. You know, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Brave, max attack with Thick Club. It's doing a lot of damage, so let's just go ahead and add a little bit of defense here. Make it so he can't get us. My previous spreads were all just like 100, like 252, 252. Might as well put in some special defense as well, a little SPDEF in there. I think this is probably going to be what we end up on. 44 Spadef. I think that's good. 252 HP, 44 to Spadef, and the rest in defense. One with bold nature. Yeah, I like that. This Life Dew, we'll see if that needs to be Dazzling Gleam. We'll probably get taunted every game, but whatever. PZ Clef. With aggro, we are running Talonflame, Urshifu, Sylveon, Serena. All Pokemon in the back are doing damage. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I want Arcanine on this team. Maybe we'll want a nice little water type just slapping things around. Maybe a Primarina could land on here. A Lapras is even an idea. Now, we have pretty solid matchups across the board. Colossal we deal with Urshifu. Goodra we deal with a combination of Porygon-Z and Sylveon. Duraludon we deal with a combination of Porygon-Z and Urshifu, which is pretty good. You know, Duraludon just knocks out your Clefairy turn 1. If it's Assault Vest, if we're only doing about 30 damage off of the max attack, then we know it's Assault Vest, and then we don't want to do this. We have to close combat next turn, which is a good thing to know. Now, with other matchups, Amoonguss, we have the max Thunderbolt, which is very good, which is something we're looking to have, which is very good. The mirror match, I don't really know what to tell you. Kill their Clefairy, and then kill their other guys. How much? Actually, I'm pretty curious. PorygonZ. Oops. PorygonZ against a PorygonZ. I hope you guys like the Z. It's kind of goofy, but whatever. Timid. It's only goofy because I don't say that usually. If you're actually from like Germany or wherever you say Z, you're not goofy for saying it. I'm goofy for saying it. Anyway, Hyper Beam. Max Hyper Beam into our own dude. It's doing a lot of damage, but like, whatever. You know, and that's a pretty dumb matchup is the mirror match, honestly. So I don't really know how you deal with a mirror match. Maybe we'll have to have something like Duraludon kind of thing on our team, but whatever. The steel Pokemon, the bulky steel Pokemon, things like Ferrothorn, Duraludon, and Corviknight, things like that we can deal with Talonflame. Sylveon also, of course, has Mystical Fire, but you don't want to bring in Sylveon unless you have Tailwind up, and they don't. And yeah, it's pretty good, and they don't have Bullet Punch anywhere because that would suck. You know, they have like Scizor on their team or something. Be very careful. Put Sylveon in very, very carefully. Probably not at all, to be honest. So, you know, we're pretty fast. If we expect them to have Fake Out for our Tailwind, like if their team is good against Porygon-Z, so we don't really want to lead Porygon-Z, and we think that they're going to go with something Fake Out for our Tailwind lead, then we bring Serena and Talonflame, and then Queenly Majesty is pretty well set up. No overlapping items, no overlapping really anything, not typing it as well. Actually, this is Monograss. Yeah, no overlapping types, which is good. You're just Fairy, right? Yeah. Pretty good. I like this team. I think it's good. Actually, we are overlapping with Fairy. But, like, we deal with Steel Pokemon kind of well with Talonflame. But, yeah, Steel type is a little bit scary. Like, Steel type Pokemon are pretty scary, and they're definitely going to be brought every time. We don't have any Resist, really. No, we do. It's not that great, though. That is a rough matchup. Like, Duraludon's going to be kind of tough. You know, but like we have a good game plan with Porygon-Z and Urshifu with close combat. It's a good game plan, not the best game plan. It's a good game plan. And then we have, you know, Ferrothorn. We deal with Talonflame. If they set up Rain, then it might be a little bad. But we still have Mystical Fire as well. If they set up Room, then it might be a little bad. But we'll see how that goes. Honestly, Room is going to be kind of annoying, but we do have Taunt on our Talonflame to hit things like Dusclops. Now, if they lead like Clefairy Dusclops, then we're not going to be able to taunt the guy, but whatever. You know, they're not putting up any offensive pressure off the rip, and we're kind of just hitting really hard at that point. Dusclops, we have a pretty good matchup with Porygon-Z, with Dark Pulse, maxing it, Max Darkness, doing a lot of damage, potentially that plus, you know, actually hold on. Was that with Helping Hand that it was close? Yeah, it was. Never mind, don't hold on. Don't hold on to anything. There's nothing you gotta grasp right now. Anyway, yeah, so Porygon-Z, Clefairy, very good. One of the best teams, one of the best cores, one of the best leads that we're expecting in VGC Series 6. So, that is going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I think the team is pretty cool. You know, Talonflame, Urshifu, PZ, Clef, Talonflame, Urshifu, Sylveon, Serena. Pretty basic team overall. Maybe one more support Pokemon could be good. Maybe Arcanine landing instead of Talonflame could be good. But I do value that Tailwind a lot on this team, so we will see. Anyway, that is going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any input, put it down in the comment below. I got a lot of good comment, a lot of good feedback on the Fast Lapras team that I did last time. So please comment away. Let's start a conversation down there in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, join me on Discord, follow me on Twitter, do all of those things. It's only 5 things. It's not too much. It would make my day a lot better. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.